Welcome back to Public Affairs on Peach, and we have been talking about diet and fitness and New Year's resolutions for this new year. Now we are going to talk to Sherry Flake, and she is known as Atlanta's stress therapist. Honey, she's probably been putting in some overtime. So let's start off by saying you are not a big believer in New Year's resolutions in the traditional sense of the word. So in your opinion, what do you think of these resolutions, and do they work?
You know, they really don't. They're kind of, I like to use things in my practice and with my clients that work, and typical New Year's resolutions don't work. I mean, they're set up for drastic and abrupt change on this magical day, and I think we can all agree, it's been like over a week, nothing magical happened on that day.
Right.
And, using solely willpower and then guilt and shame and punishment when we falter, and that's just not going to work. It doesn't honor how our brains work, how motivation works, and how we can create healthy habits for the long term. It'll work, but not for long.
So why don't they work? And why do we set ourselves up to fail then?
That's a good question. There is that insanity, definition. We kind of do the same things for some reason. We keep trying the same ways to change, even when they hurt us. And that's why this work is really important to me, because there are the simplest, littlest tricks that you can do to make yourself so much happier and so much more successful, and actually get some of these things into your life that you want. The reason why you want something in your life is because it's who you truly are. It's a part of what makes you different from everybody else, what makes you awesome. And so here's your opportunity to get these things into your life with regularity.
Right.
And I love teaching people how to do that. They're so much happier and way less stressed.
Yeah, and speaking of stress, because the philosophy on stress and helping people overcome the challenges that they've had at any one time, is that really what the concept behind stress and resolving those issues is all about?
It is, because see, stress isn't real. Okay, it really isn't.
Okay.
We can't go get it at the grocery store. We can't dump it in a dumpster when we don't want it. We create it with our thoughts. And what I found with my clients is a lot of these stressful thoughts have to do with things that we wish we were doing, that we think we ought to be doing, that we think would make us happier and healthier. And if you don't have the lowdown on how to do that, on how to create motivation on your own whenever you need it, on how to create a healthy habit deliberately, you're going to be way more stressed out. And your life is so much more joyful when you can do what you want. If you want to play the guitar, if you want to exercise more, if you want to learn a new language, I want you to do those things. It's what makes you you. It's what makes you cool.
So then how do we change our resolutions so we can go about celebrating our successes then?
Well, there are a few things that you kind of need to change. I mean, what I call the New Year's resolutionist mistake is that it's a series of mistakes, actually, that are based on these inflexible promises that start us at the goal. There's nowhere to go if you start at the goal. On this magical day, I'm going to do this thing 3 times a week, or God forbid, every day. Don't do anything every day unless it's biological, okay? And there's nowhere to go with that. And it doesn't honor how your brain works. Our brains are wired up to sabotage new behaviors. Sameness is safety to your brain. If you're sitting around eating birthday cake all day, and that's what you do, that's how you roll, then your brain wants you to still do that, because that's how you survived. You survived yesterday. That's good enough for your brain. It doesn't matter if something is better for you or more healthy or will make you live out your self-actualization dream. Your brain doesn't care about that. It cares about surviving.
You don't like the word should. Then you want it to be
don't should on yourself.
Don't should.
That's what Albert Ellis says in my business.
Don't should on yourself, honey. So wait a minute. So then it should be about, or no, it shouldn't be.
No, it can be about. It would be nice if.
Ooh, honey.
Change it, girl. Change it.
That's right. It can be about little baby steps.
It is. The little by little mentality is where you're going to get it. That's where you're going to get the most. And motivation comes after action, not before. Motivation comes after action, not before. If you think it comes before, that's inspiration. Inspiration's lovely. You can get it from a flower, you can get it from a movie, you can get it from a song, you can get it from a Rocky movie.
Right.
But unless you go buy a gray sweatsuit and run up and down the stairs in Philadelphia, it's going to fizzle out.
Well, let me say this, because we being women, notorious for this, comparing ourselves to others. We shouldn't do that.
You know what, though?
We can't do that.
Right. And what's cool is that true confidence comes when you finally realize, oh my gosh, I'm exactly the same as everybody else.
Yeah.
And then I can just be who I am. It's this amazing moment where you're like, you're a holy and divine and wonderful person, and you're an amazing creation and creator, and so am I, and so I can just be who I am. And that kind of confidence will kind of nip in the bud the comparison trap.
Yeah. Oh, that is, so let me ask you, when did you know you wanted to be this stress therapist?
Oh, it was really cool because I opened up my practice and I was just really hungry at first, but then I kind of realized everyone came in and they kind of knew what they wanted.
Yeah.
Everyone kind of knows we're not supposed to eat birthday cake.
Yeah.
You know, we're supposed to eat carrots instead, but they don't know how. And so I became kind of obsessed with teaching people how to do things rather than constantly telling people, do this, do that, eat blueberries, eat walnuts. How? I still want to eat birthday cake.
Right.
How do I eat carrots?
Right.
You know, and so there are some really cool tips and tricks that you can do to trick your brain into allowing you to do a behavior that you haven't done before. And one of the easiest ways is to just feel good about it. Yay, carrots! Okay? Because your brain avoids things that you think are going to be boring, hard, miserable. It's like, I'm not doing that. That's where procrastination comes from. That's a different show.
Right.
But if you can manipulate yourself and just be like, I love this. This is a good thing. I love this. And feel good about it, your brain wants to do those things.
So, honey, you are Sherry Flake, but you are also known as the Energizer Bunny. Let me just put that on out there.
I'm doing all these things that they're saying to do, right?
No, I think it's awesome. You can come back any time because we have got to take a break, but you have given some very, very valuable tips. And
I'm so glad.
You didn't think we'd forget your financial resolutions, did you, for the new year? Come on. That's coming up next on Public Affairs on Peach. Come on back.